Hi, Steve Adubato coming to you from the New Jersey Performing Arts Center. This is One-on-One. It is my honor and pleasure to introduce Helene Stapinski, who's the author of Five Finger Discount, A Crooked Family History. Really?
Really.
You grew up in Jersey City, New Jersey.
Jersey City, yeah.
And we're taping in Newark. That's not too far
Not
from
far at all. I used to cover trials, actually, of the politicians from Jersey City who were prosecuted in Newark.
You have a fascinating family history. I'm going to get right into it. Who's Beansy?
Beansy is the guy on the cover of my book. He's my grandfather.
Right here, look at this.
He was the worst criminal of them all. That's a childhood photo, so he doesn't look so bad there. But
he committed crimes after this?
Many.
Like, such as what?
Crimes. He was probably on his way from committing a crime then.
What kind of crimes?
Well, he tried to kill us when I was 5.
What?
The book opens with that. It opens with him with a gun in the Majestic Tavern above which we lived when I was a kid. And he'd had a fight with my dad, and long story short, he was just going to kill us all. He was completely insane, basically.
Like, clinically?
Yeah, he was, I mean, we never got a diagnosis. This was the 70s, you know, things were still sort of, you know, we think he was bipolar, we're not really sure. But he'd had a long criminal history up until then, and that was really his last crime. He was old by then, and he was dragged away by the cops. I watched from the kitchen window as they took Grandpa away. That's one of my first memories. So.
But Beansy, your grandfather, was only one.
Yes.
Because your great-grandmother, Vida.
Yeah.
Murder?
We think so, yeah.
What do you mean we think so? What is this?
She was in Southern Italy. Southern Italy, it was far away. She's my great-great-grandmother. She was from Italy? She was Beansy's grandmother, and so she apparently killed someone in Italy and escaped to America with Beansy's dad, and another son. And so we think she was the first family criminal, but we don't. I'm actually researching that right now. So I just came back from Southern Italy, so.
Well, here's my question. You're in Jersey City.
Right.
And by the way, with other people, your cousin Jerry was a swindler, 200 grand he stole from some people, right?
Right.
Aunt Katie, political fixer in Jersey City.
Yeah.
For whom?
She worked for the Hague administration early
Hague.
on. Yeah, Frank Hague. Yeah.
I am the law.
Exactly.
Hague.
And then after him, she worked for John V. Kenny. I don't know if you remember Kenny.
John V. Kenny
he sort of
in the
carried it
1930s
over
and 40s,
from
right?
Hague, the corruption. He ran against the Hague machine, but he pretty much did the same stuff.
If you watch Boardwalk Empire, you'll know some of these characters.
Hague is in there, exactly. Hague is one of the characters. Terrence Winter actually is a fan of my book.
Well, that's a good fan.
But anyway, yeah, Aunt Katie used to get the vote out for Hague and for Kenny or whoever she worked for. But basically what they would do is they put ashes on the handle of the voting lever. And if you came out of the booth and you didn't have ashes on your finger, that meant you voted for the wrong person.
Are you
serious? She would check that, and you'd get your butt kicked.
How did you know all this?
Oh, family stories. You know, I interviewed 12 million people. A lot of stories that I was told were recorded in the newspaper or in court records or, you know, criminal records. So what would happen was a family member would tell me a story, and then I would go and back up the research and find it. So.
Well, here's my question. I was interested as I was reading the book. I thought, okay, Helene's writing this book. Now, is there a movie involved?
Oh, yeah, there's a documentary being made, which is why I'm here today.
You're raising money for that, right?
Yeah.
As we speak.
Yeah. So.
Your family could not be thrilled about this.
Actually, you know, my immediate family is fine. They actually helped me write the book. You know, if it hadn't been for my immediate family, I wouldn't have had those stories. As I was writing the book, I would call them and ask them questions, and I continue to do today. You know, I mean, I'm always writing something. I'm always calling someone. And my mom was a great help. You know, a lot of the stories came from her originally. She would tell me a story, and then I'd go to the library or, you know, go to the courthouse and look it up, and there it was, you know. So the immediate family was fine. I had a couple of cousins early on who weren't thrilled. You know, they called me and gave me a hard time, but they weren't in the book. They had nothing really to complain about. I was like, whatever.
Are you embarrassed by your family?
Not at all, no.
What do you mean, not at all? You got murderers and fixers, and who stole money from other people.
There's a lot of good people, too. You know, it's like...
Well, are you embarrassed by those who were stone-cold criminals and hurt other people?
I used to be. You know, when I was younger, I sort of was running away from the whole thing and from Jersey City in general. And then I went to graduate school at Columbia to the MFA program, and, you know, all these people were writing about how their parents drank on the weekends and ignored them, blah, 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 sobbed, oh, too bad for you, you know. And, and then I started writing these stories. And my professors were like, oh my God, this is gold. You know, this is great stuff. And my first reaction was like, no, I don't really want to do this. You know, they would assign a story about your dad or your whatever, an uncle, had to write a story, and this stuff started to bubble out, you know. And they were like, this is your book. This is what you need to write about. And I was just kind of in denial. I was like, no, I don't want to do that. Because I was embarrassed about it.
Sure.
And the longer I looked at it, though, it was over a number of years, I was like, wait a minute, these are my stories, you know, and this is my voice, and this this is what happened, and I'm going to tell the story.
What's been the reaction so far, not just from your family, but about Jersey City? Because Steve Phillip is the mayor in Jersey City. We also have the mayor, the mayor of Newark, Ras Baraka, is in the green room about to come in to do this interview.
Oh, really?
They have a great relationship.
Okay,
and Jersey City and Newark are always competing for who has the larger population. And there's a history of corruption in both cities. Jersey City has an incredibly embarrassing and long tradition, not a proud tradition, of corruption. Does that mean anything to you?
I mean, the thing with the documentary that's been really fascinating is we're kind of taking the book to the next level, because the book was written 10 years ago, 11 years ago, and things were still pretty bad back then in Jersey City, corruption-wise.
Sure.
And I think it's kind of come a long way in a lot of different ways, not just via corruption, but I mean, Jersey City's pretty much unaffordable for me right now. I mean, it's gotten so nice.
Because of the development and how
it's
real
so
estate
nice,
value
you know?
is so...
Yeah, I mean,
well, that's part of the town.
Yeah, it is part of it. But, I mean, it's really come a long way since I wrote the book. You know what I mean? So the documentary's not just covering the book, but what's happened since the book, you know? And, you know, like you said, not the whole city's like that. There are definitely big pockets that aren't so nice still and have serious problems. And I think I love Phillip. I think he's a great guy.
Steve Phillip.
Yeah, I've met him many times, and he's totally behind the project. And I think one of his greatest challenges is sort of, you know, getting the city together in that way. I mean, you've got the high-end stuff happening, and then you've got the stuff that really needs work, you know, and taking that money from the high-end stuff and helping solve those problems. And
what do you want to
that's
accomplish? What would you like to accomplish with the movie and people continue to talk about the history of corruption in Jersey City? What do you want to accomplish?
With the movie? I don't know. I guess to get Jersey City its due, you know what I mean? Let people know that it was this bad place for a long time. It was corrupt, but it's not like that anymore, and it's trying to make a comeback.
So you're upbeat about Jersey City?
I am, actually, yeah. I love Jersey City. And I've always loved Jersey City. I mean, I kind of badmouth it a lot in the book because, I mean, I grew up in there in the 70s. You know, it was a, rough time. I live in Brooklyn, which is very
similar. There's never any corruption in Brooklyn.
No, none.
That was a joke.
They hide it better. New York
Jersey City was out front.
It's bigger. Jersey City's a smaller place.
Yes.
It's more out there. You know,
Clearly.
It's not as savvy, maybe.
What was the name of the hospital where all the kids were born?
It's where I was born.
Margaret
Haig.
Margaret Haig Hospital.
Yeah, everybody
named
from Jersey
after Frank Haig, right?
Haig's
Did
mother.
it for his wife.
His mother.
Not even his wife, his mother. Good call.
Yes.
Little you got me on that one.
Yeah.
Helene Stapinski, author of 5-Finger Discount, A Crooked Family History. I want to thank you so much and wish you all the best with the film.
Thank you so much.
Good
Thanks
stuff.
for having me.
Well, this is NJ Pack. This is
you got to have
Never
me.
any corruption here. We'll be back right after this from NJ Pack. Thanks so much. That was fun.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato at NJ Pack has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence, and by the New Jersey Performing Arts Center, in cooperation with NJTV and 13 for WNET. Funding for this edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato at NJ Pack has been provided by TD Bank, United Airlines, Verizon Communications, the Fidelco Group, Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey, Cohn Resnick, and by the law firm of Gibbons PC. Promotional support provided by The Record, North Jersey's trusted source, and NorthJersey.com. And by NJ Biz, all business, all New Jersey. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area.